Our speaker, Dr. Kitty Hung, is here, but my role in this, as I give you a bit of preamble, my name is Darwin. I'm the chairman of three great groups, BCS North London, Central London, and South London branches. And a few of my colleagues are here as well. You've seen Anna outside when you registered, and Diana is around somewhere, don't know where. Also, David, who is a key man, is at the back. He is producing the video and also the streaming to our online language. So they will be able to benefit from this, and later he will tell us if they're asking any questions. So if you're online, please do enter questions into the chat, and we'll pick them up, David in particular, and feed them to our speaker, Kitty. Okay, well, we do a number of things to do with business analysis. In fact, we have a business analysis initiative. We have a number of initiatives. We do have initiatives. We have a number of initiatives, and this is one of them. This is the business analysis initiative, and Kitty is the lead for this. What you're seeing is some examples of past events that we've done already. And they also have the URLs, the video links, so you can cut and paste, copy and paste, and watch those videos yourself. And I very much recommend that, because you see the ongoing story of some aspect of business narrative. And they're all presented by Kitty, who is very much an expert in business analysis. So I think I'm going to hand over to you at this point, yeah? But one thing I should say is, if you hear any bells, tap on your head, make sure it's not coming from there. Tap on the head of the person next to you, make sure it's not coming from there. If it's a real fire alarm, you're not expecting it, run. You'll see them disappear in a certain direction. Just try and keep up with them. But on a more serious note, fire exits are out the way you came. And there's also another one, a secret one, which is to the left into the big room, back of the big room, fire exit out into the street. I suggest remember to take your coat with you. Yeah. All right. So that's it, really. And may I hand over to Dr. Kitty Hung.
Thank you, Darren, for the nice introduction, and good evening, everyone. And really appreciate you come all the way here. It's Christmas, it's a quiet month. You have a lot of Christmas shopping to do. So your time spent here, I hope it will be well spent. I hope you can get some takeaway back to your workplace. So today, I'm going to talk about beyond disruption, how generative AI empowers consultancy sector. I've been in the consulting sector 6-7 years. I am the lead for the business analysis initiative in BCS, because I've been a business analyst for 27 years. So this is my agenda, introduction, a little bit about myself. And I've been doing research since November 2022. As you know, the generative AI and large language model only came out officially to the consumer market in November 2022. No one except Sam Altman can claim they're expert. And I am not an expert. I have 13 months experience in trying the generative AI and large language model. When it came out, I was thinking it's a groundbreaking technology. It will go a long way. And 13 months down the road, I can confirm that I'm right. I look at this presentation is a collection of my research, because I don't claim I am an expert. So I've done the research about the impacts of AI in IT consulting sector, the research on the Big Four, and I look at the changing landscape of the client services, from the traditional IT consultancy services to the AI-powered, AI-driven consultancy services, which I believe the consultancy market can generate a higher value of the income. and the shift in consultancy paradigms and the adaptation to the AI change, the disruption. And I think we should be more positive to embrace the AI, to use it as a tool for the future success. And then I have some case studies, so I would like to share with you. And also, finally, the consideration and guidance when using the generative AI. So a little bit about myself. My background is computer science and technology. So I gained my PhD in computer science in 1999, 24 years ago. My discipline was software modeling. So when I finished my PhD, I stayed in the university for a couple of years as a postdoctoral research fellow. I was doing the research, it's like an extension of my PhD. But then 2 years later, I changed the job. I moved to the industry. I became a business analyst in the telecom industry. And after 2 years, and also when I was working as a research fellow, I was working in Sheffield University as well as London Business School. London Business School is not a business school. It's a business enterprise. They do all sorts of high-tech research. And I was the research fellow at that time it's a mobile technology, sponsored by Luton. And then after my spell in sales structures, I joined the central government in the Metropolitan Police, and I stayed there for 15 years as a senior project manager, senior business analyst. And I moved back to the industry, and that's the year I started I joined the dark side, become a consultant in the consultancy sector. So I joined Capita, and it's also a turning point of my career, because it was the first time I actually, as a business analyst, support Internet of Things. So I was put in the smart meter program. So I was dealing with emerging technology like the Internet of Things, the IoT. The smart meter is a computer, but it doesn't look like a computer. All you can see is a box with a little number in the middle for the meter reading. But in fact, it does many things. It's a computer. It transmits your reading, all the activities in your household between your smart meter and the utility suppliers. So it's very intriguing, very exciting. After more than 2 years, I moved to Raytheon, which is the defense contracting company. And I continue my support on military technology. So in Raytheon, I was supporting the digital twin and digital flat. I learned a lot. And after about 19 months, I moved to Atkins in 2021. And I work in the ADS&T, Aerospace, Defense, Security and Technology, as a principal consultant in business analysis. So that's me. You might say, well, from my CV, I didn't put anything about AI. Why am I here to talk about AI? Yes, I am not a ML, machine learning engineer. I'm not an AI data scientist. I'm a researcher in generative AI, which I'm really good at as a researcher. So I would like to share with you my research journey. So I found that with the generative AI and large language model, I'm sure you all agree it's a groundbreaking technology. If we are, as a consultancy, we provide consultancy service. We sell ideas to help customers improve their performance, productivity, improve efficiency, improve competitiveness. That's all we do. So it is our job to conceptualize our idea to lead the customer to their journey to achieve their goal. With the generative AI and large language model, it's like so big. It's like a big elephant in the room. We can't ignore them. So my decision is to look at how we can leverage the technology to help customer even further. And that's where I started my research journey. So I look at if we traditionally, our clients use us, consultants, to give them idea and also to solve their staff shortage. So We will perform project work like business analysis, testing, solution architecture, development, all these project work, program management and PMO, program management office, and what else? Scrum Master and Agile, like product owner. So that's what we do. When you look at for the automation, the clients may use the AI like CoPilot to automate the Excel sheet. I used to know a consultant. He was very, very good in Excel, advanced skill, and he could command a lot of money because of his skill. He's very good in all this Visual Basic script, all this Excel formula, and that is a very valuable skill for him to command a very high daily rate. However, now we don't need that because we have CoPilot. We can actually make the conversation with the Excel CoPilot and say to the CoPilot, generate me an infographic or do this formula, do this. I do not need any Visual Basic skill or any detailed skill. As a business analyst, it hits home really hard because the generative AI can understand natural language and can translate the natural language requirements all the way to computer code. So it cuts out all the middle bit. As a BA, I'm the one who kind of bridging the gap between the users and the community and the development community. And all of a sudden, no user stories, no acceptance criteria, no BPMN notation, no use case diagram, no UML notation. So I'm sitting here say, okay, what should I do? So that's the way, that's the trend of the whole consultancy market. Testing. The generative AI can automate the test script and to conduct the testing. So testing manager become a challenge. Solution architecture. If the AI can keep generating the code, then the developers will take the code to test with the user community. If they don't like it, if they want to change the requirements, they will just keep generating. So is it really financially viable to keep generating architecture specification, solution design, architecture document, thinking that in a couple of minutes you will have a software to test? So the AI is really a disruption to all the traditional IT work provided by consultancy sector. And from the outset, it sounds like a threat. So how do we turn a negativity and threats to a positivity and to upskill ourselves? Okay, so that's my next slide deck. That's I explain CoPilot as AI tool. We do not need any advanced level Excel skills. You can ask the CoPilot to do for us. And then the AI chat box can automate the solution. If you go to some website, you don't have to navigate different pages. You just tell the chatbot what you want to do, and the chatbot will just come back with their answer. And that's the future. It just in the sidebar of the screen. So I think that it results in some kind of financial pressure in the traditional IT consultancy market. So we have to face the reality. I think there will be increasing needs for traditional IT work, but increasing needs for more generative, strategic, more, if you like, using your emotion and intelligence, and to lean towards the soft skill side. And the next one is the AI enabling business processes, changing the demand from consultants. I already went through that. The automation. You can see call center, the tier one, they don't use a human to take the call or request. They just use AI chatbot. It only maybe when it escalates to level 2, level 3, then they may have a human like decision look to kick in. So a lot of business processes have already been generated by AI. So how do we kind of tackle these challenges and to come out the other side brighter and stronger. So I think the three key points is there is a necessity for consultancy firm to adapt and stay relevant and competitive. Because if you kind of see your colleagues or other company on the sideline that, oh, they're all in AI, I'm not doing them, in as short as 6 to 12 months time, you become irrelevant. That's the harsh reality. We need to consider that. And also the key point number 2 is emphasis on creative solution and using our unique human skills. We can do a lot of things that AI cannot do yet. And the third point is develop the new AI enhanced offering and embrace the AI as a tool. So the future, what's the future look like in my world? It's AI tool to improve operation efficiency, and also it's a kind of the charging model need to be changed, and then the opportunities for skill enhancement and modelizing the talents and building. So in consultancy market, people is very important. People with the skill is very important. So the structure of consultancy market is the training is an integral part of the career training. So we need to modernize the training. So if someone still send the BA for the UML notation, BPML notation, that is a bit irrelevant now. In my opinion, I think in consultancy market, the training we need now is prompt engineering. You have master prompt engineering. You can just use the AI to elevate your career. The third point is refocusing high value services and become an AI literate and AI fluent in your career. So that's the evidence. Then there's some research about McKinsey. They have the article about the potential of AI. This article, you can read that. Click the link underneath for the full articles. I kind of extracted the key points, what they try to say. Is when this article was published, it was about October time, and actually it's only 11 months after the ChatGPT and large language model came out to the consumer market. They already, when they did the survey, they already 1/3 of the survey organizations said they are using the AI tools, and also the high performance. There's a very interesting quote from someone in the consultancy market is the AI may not be very helpful to high performers, but extremely helpful to lower performers. Because if, for example, if I'm a high performer, I'm already clever, but if I am not really good, I can actually use AI as a tool to catch up with my higher performers counterparts. That will actually give people a kind of a consideration that, wow, it means that if I use a tool, I can catch up with someone who have a lot more experience than me as a shortcut. I have a good friend working in a very large consultancy company. I do not want to name the company. She said to me, there are junior consultants development program. They are shrinking from 2 years to 6 months. 2 years to 6 months. They graduated the junior consultancy development program trainee in 6 months because they use AI. They bring them up to speed to reduce the duration from 2 years to 6 months. And they're trialing now. So I need to catch up with her in the new year to see whether it works or not. So the next case study is from VentureBeat article. They actually reported in America, every single dollar a company invests, the return of investment is $3.50. So it's 3.5 times the return of investment. 62% of the companies are already using generative AI, with 24% plan to invest in AI. Another article is another survey that the next wave of disruption in the financial service is generative AI and financial in large language model. Financial sector, they really embrace generative AI and large language model because the capability of large language model to go to pull all the unstructured data. Financial market, they master the data warehouse, data mining very successfully in the last, 25 years, 30 years in only structured data. They will build data farm, data warehouse, whatever, but only manage to master the structured data. Unstructured data has always been a challenge in industry. What they do is they use large language model to monitor, to get the unstructured data, for example, online news and social media posts, to add to their capability. So when I talk about consultancy, I will include the top four consultancy companies as our template, our blueprint. So I look at McKinsey. They already team up Salesforce to deliver the AI-powered solution. So it means that these consultancy companies, they have already built their internal capability. It works, and then they offer this publicly to their clients. So that's McKinsey's doing. The next one, Deloitte. Also, Deloitte launched generative AI practice to help clients harness the power of disruptive new AI technology. They all do it, they all in. EY, Louis company, they developed the EY.ai portal. It's a unified portal to offer the AI service to financial sector. So part of the research, I actually attended an AI talk at the EY office in London less than 2 weeks ago. So the gentleman with the microphone, his name is Harvey Lewis. He's the partner of EY, and he's leading the generative AI, large language model, and potentially AGI division. So they sponsored the event, and the lady next to Harvey, she's from Microsoft. She's talking about CoPilot as well, and the moderator and another panelist. So my key takeaways from the talk in EY office is we all agree that the generative AI and large language model are groundbreaking and a transformative technology in the industry. And the EY AI platform offers various AI services, including an AI-powered auto accountancy to enable more cost-effective professional service complementing human expertise. When Harvey said this, the whole room burst into laughter. And she would say, "Oh, you use AI accountant. What happens to your human accountants? Are they all going to lose their job?" And Harvey said, "No, on the contrary. Because the AI automated a lot of accountancy work. As Harvey said, the AI does all the dirty work, the basic work. So it means that they can offer faster, better, and cheaper services to their clients. So that they may be able to attract clients from their competitors. So they actually get more business in the accountancy side. And then in terms of the human accountants, they free up the time, and then they can develop their skills to help clients tackle more teething problem, complexity issues in accounting. Accounting is complicated, like taxation, insurance, and all this, trading and profit and loss account. So as Harvey said, their human accountants are upskilling. So that's the situation in EY. And then the lady from Microsoft, she shared with us about the updates of CoPilot. And then she said CoPilot, when they launched the beta CoPilot, they also, at the same time, they also did the research and the survey. In America, they collected the user feedback and user efficiency. In the first 3 weeks, and the productivity has gone to like 15%. Just 3 weeks, 15%. So for example, you need 2 hours to do your job, and now you need 1 hour, 40 minutes. So and then gradually they reduce a bit more. So they said after the 4-month trial, the results from the survey shows that the employees managed to save up to 40%. 40% efficiency is a lot. It nearly cut the time in half. So that's how they manage their performance in the CoPilot. In the UK, it is launched now. It depends. It's up to companies whether they want to subscribe the CoPilot account. It's additional price over and above the Microsoft Office 365. So the rapid pace of generative AI development has raised. Also, we talk about question about the potential and also harm. The harm is about the hallucination and training. So if someone just believe everything the AI said is wrong, because the AI is not always right. It gives you some very convincing lies that we talk about, we discuss about. So how do we tackle that? Hopefully the model we train become more accurate, more mature. But at the moment, this is a challenge organization need to focus on. AI can do good things and can do harmful things as well. And then the concern about AI transparency, the controllability and emergence of AGI. So you might ask, what's the difference between AI and AGI? So in my really humble opinion, the AGI is something like the extension of AI hallucination. Hallucination is AI think about something without taking your instruction. And that's why on occasions, the hallucination means AI lies to you. But for the extension of hallucination, AI can think about something that bypassing the interaction or instruction from human, and then keep this data inside the AI. It will develop at time, become a digital brain in the IT system. So imagine if you have a brain in your IT systems. Number one, you don't know what it's thinking of. Number two, you have no control of what it's going to think. And that is Elon Musk is so worried about. It's the controllability and the predictability. At the moment, even for ChatGPT or a large language model, you go to computer, you still need to form conversation to your AI assistants or the large language model. It still takes your instruction and generate a picture or write your poem or plan your Christmas dinner. So that kind of thing, it has an interaction between the AI and the human. From the AGI, it does what it likes. It triggers some button or it was like thinking what is right to do. So that is a very big challenge. And Harvey said he doesn't have an answer. So we have to think. We have to wait until how the development of AGI. There is a UK AI Safety Summit about last month in Battery Park and chaired by our Prime Minister. They're talking about how to regulate, govern, put regulation and rules on to control AI, and how to actually pause the development of AGI, because it sounds quite powerful. Because if you have a digital brain in your computer system, then it is very challenging. Critical issues such as cybersecurity. We touch on a lot about cybersecurity. The problem is that now the AI not only can generate very convincing text for the spam mail and phishing, it can actually generate synthetic voice and also deep face video. So if someone show up on Teams talking to you, you can't tell whether it's a human or AI generated image, because the technology, they're pretty close to like the human. It's the avatar is like human, right? Human look like. So that these are the challenges of from the talk on that night. So move on to another top four big four consultancy. PwC, they actually invested $1 billion in the investment to expand their scalability capability in AI. KPMG also very all into AI. They even put this picture, a human sitting next to a robot in the website. So they give people the message that they're really serious in the development of the generative AI. Accenture go beyond extra miles. They committed to invested $3 billion in AI, 3 times more than the PwC, and to kind of offer these services as they are offering to their clients. So you can see the big four, they're really, and plus McKinsey, they're really into the AI. So I'm thinking the big four, they all along, we use the big four as our blueprint, our template. So I don't work in big four. I work in more like second tier consultancy outfit. So we kind of look up to the big four to see, kind of follow their direction, where to go. At the moment, from my research, they are really big into AI. They're investing heavily. Capgemini, they actually offer they offer the service to Heathrow Airport using generative AI and large language model to improve passenger experience. So even the smaller consultancy, not just big four, they are investing heavily and they're taking AI very seriously. So supposedly, okay, we make a decision. We need to use AI in our consultancy market. What do we need to do and what do we need to know? So there's a few guidance about using AI. First of all, understand the AI. Ensure the team and yourself to have a good understanding of how generative AI work, its capability and also the limitations. Train the users how to use the generative AI and large language model. Additional training to the user include the AI literacy, prompt engineering skills that I already covered a bit earlier. And AI ethics is quite important. And also the cybersecurity and overall some like general AI practices. In terms of AI ethics, it's use high quality and diverse training data, which is free from bias and sensitive information. No matter how good the algorithm is, if you have bad data quality, bad data, you will have bad output. It's like garbage in, garbage out. A lot of people think, oh, I have this large language model pre-trained, very good algorithm. But then they don't put focus on the data quality and data accuracy. So then they come back with the result, which is is not what they want. So data quality is the key to make the AI work. And then also human oversight and decision loop. We will not lose our job. That's my assurance to you all. We will not, because we will play the role as the quality assurance, quality check, whatever output generated from AI, we don't just use it, copy and paste to our client's report and all this. We need to use the human loops to make the decision. If the AI generated the output, say, do ABC, are you going to do ABC? No. You look at, okay, do I believe it? Is it sensible? I make my own human decision loop, not the AI. AI is just the recommendation. It's up to us whether we use it or not. Do fact check your data, looking for misinformation, and also avoid plagiarism. Plagiarism is a very a very, very sensitive topic. It's a lot of argument because now with the DALL-E 3, we can generate the AI images. You don't need to go to Getty Image to buy images now. You don't even need to take a camera to go to the street to take pictures because you can just tell AI and generate that. What the AI does is it just crawl over the internet, all the picture and learn. This is a bridge, this is a building, this is a man, this is a woman, this is a child. And then it just collect all this information and then present to you a picture, what you want. How can the creator, the original creator, can claim copyright? It's really difficult because, as you know, in music industry, if you take less than 5 seconds of a tune, you don't get sued. But you take more than 5-6 seconds of the tune, you get sued by the creator. That's why Ed Sheeran, he's been sued for like many times, 3-6 times. That's why, because the original creator said, you have used 6 seconds of my tune, that's I can sue you. And then it's a lot of Taylor Swift, she's been sued a few times. But for the AI, it's very difficult because when you make the song, create the song, it a couple of seconds here, a couple of seconds there, and then create the song. So a music creator, they find it will be very difficult to sue the AI for copyright, or it's the same as photographs and images, music. It's like when I was young, I learned music. And I learned music, I learned instruments, I learned piano, I learned guitar. And then I grew up and then I play piano, I play guitar. Will my music teacher be able to sue me? That's the AI. AI is a child. Learn music, learn images. So plagiarism is really challenging area. I want to do more research on AI, how to protect the intellectual property owner, because as you know, recently there's a big Hollywood scriptwriter strike in Hollywood because AI crawled the whole internet and started writing scripts. It's got unlimited data from the internet, and it just creates some really interesting stuff for movie scripts. And this is like a big threat to human scriptwriter and playwright. So that is a threat. So I would like to do more research. Maybe the next seminar next time. So consideration AI security. When I said about training, the prompt engineering skill, it's very key to upskill ourselves to use AI in our job, because with the prompt engineering skill, there is a technique called scenario-based prompt engineering. For example, a police force want to install CCTV camera in shopping mall to monitor the shoplifters, but the police force doesn't want to reveal too much on the GPT, the large language model. The scenario base is you can change your scenario, you can change your stakeholder, you can change your business, your organization. So you get what you want, but it's slightly different. The AI doesn't know your real business situation or scenario. For example, you want to deploy a robots in the battlefield, but under the military intelligence, military security, you are not allowed. You are not supposed to tell the OpenAI about this. And so there's a technique that you can use a different scenario to get the answer. So you can say, oh, I want to deploy a robotic capability in a warehouse. So the robots can run, can jump, can walk. So that is the technique. So that will kind of make the cybersecurity a bit more resilient. So another one is that AI can improve efficiency in a good way, but bad actors and hackers can use AI to automate their criminal activities. I always like to use a knife as a scenario, an analogy for AI. As a good person, I use a knife to cut fruit, vegetable, meat. And I find the knife is really useful, so I can cook my dinner. The same knife can be used by another person to harm another human, the criminals. So are we going to control the possession of knife? Yes. When you go to the street, you carry a knife, you stop by police, stop and search. If you carry a knife, you get arrested, yeah? However, there's still a lot of crimes in London, in this big city. So it means that the regulation, the control is not very effective. In the AI world, it's very challenging because the criminals, they will use all the AI algorithm, the machine learning, the deep learning, neural network, all this technology to hack people, to steal data, and to harm to attack other computer networks. So this really a challenge. Data privacy. A lot of people, they still think there's only one version of ChatGPT, but it's not. The open version of ChatGPT, the 3.5, the 4.0, is a playground. It's a playground for people to ask questions about your personal activities, like planning a Christmas party, going to a cruise ship trip, and going to a road trip, booking hotel, and that kind of things. That's fine for the open source of the GPT. There's another version that is called API plugin. The organization can buy the API plugin to either Google or OpenAI to take the large language model and GPT, the pre-trained one, and plug into their internal data within the firewall. So the conversation between the users and the AI assistants, the GPT prompt, will be encrypted within the organization, and then encrypted to go to the cloud, either Azure Cloud or AWS. So that is called GPT for Business. So there are two versions. So consultancy market, like the Big Four, what they're doing is they help organizations use the AI, they help train the AI, they help configure the platform, install the capability in the organization, like chatbots or CoPilot. So what they do is that when the organization, they have HR data, they have procurement, financial record, they have intranet, they have SharePoint, they have email, and they have Outlook, they have meeting, they have Teams meeting transcripts. So all these internal data, and also with the training, when they train the data set to the large language model internally, they also look at the user access and permission. So when you use SharePoint, you have the level of permission. Not everybody can go to a certain folder. It has to be approved by the site owner. So that is a very, very valuable skill to be able to offer the service to the clients to train to use the large language model, the train model to plug in the internal data set with the level of permission, security, data privacy, and also analyzing the data quality. That is what the Big Four are doing now. That's what they're doing now. And then they use AI ethics, bias and fairness. And have you tried the GPT? I tried the GPT the other day. If you put DALL-E, could you generate the picture of a business analyst? Most of the time, it will generate a man with a suit. And because the AI machine learning engineer, the generative AI creator behind the algorithm, because in their mindset, a business analyst is a white man in a suit. So as a woman from Hong Kong, a Chinese, I have no chance to be shown as a business analyst. So that's a small example of AI bias. So how do we tackle this bias issue? So we need to be more ED&I inclusive and diverse about the behind the algorithm. So we need to basically educate the AI algorithms creator to be more the mindset to be less biased, because a lot of bias are unconscious. They think, yeah, this is it. So hopefully the industry will improve this situation in the future. Transparency, AI transparency. Because as you know, the name OpenAI was the company was set up in 2015. The aim was to have an organization with the open source. In 2019, because of the financial constraint, Sam Altman struck a deal with Microsoft and to turn the company into a closed source company. So the name of the company called OpenAI, but the algorithm behind the ChatGPT and large language model is closed source. So that is not transparent because it's a commercial reason. They need to generate investment from a commercial organization. Yeah, I mentioned about the data quality. So look for misinformation and hallucination. It's quite common AI making things up. And the AI accountability, I talked about the plagiarism earlier. It's quite challenging to trace back the accountability and the source of the content and the decision generated by AI. I give you a small example. Twitter is now called X, yeah. There are online trolls, online it's like misinformation, fake news, or something like criticism, attack other people, all this. In the past, we can be able to look at the IP address of the source and the account and to find out who actually did that and take this person to law enforcement or justice. But now it's really difficult because there are several layers. The AI could just keep generating. So you have this misinformation or derogatory comments against disabled people or women or any religious belief. You check the source of the creator, and then you look at this like layers and layers of AI generated. So you filter out. So you can't really check down who's behind it, because when the first creator create the AI algorithm, the AI algorithm generate a comment and generate another AI algorithm to generate another AI algorithm, and then AI algorithm generate that misinformation and fake news content. Then when you trace back, you have the 4 or 5 layers, and this happens really common. So the law enforcement or governments, they're trying really scratching their head how to track down the original information, the original data source, because when it's generated by AI consent and copyright, I covered that before. It's really difficult, really challenging. If you see the diagram I put down, I put is just the source, the hyperlink that I give credits to OpenAI because I use DALL-E 3 to generate the image. So for the graphic designer, photographer, artist, painter, you can see if you turn around that their paintings drawn by real human, it's all gone because all I need to do is just to put a credit to my source to generate this image. So that is still very unresolved issues about the AI copyrights and intellectual properties. I don't have an answer. I'm here to share my research with you guys, so don't think I'm the expert. So that's all my presentation, and I'm open for questions. I hope you find this talk interesting. I try to be positive, but I also raise some awareness about you can't just go to do AI with your eye closed. You have to look for many issues like the challenges, the cybersecurity, data quality, the copyright issue, the plagiarism, the transparency, the AGI controllability, and also the misinformation, the fake news. So there's a lot of things to learn. But once you learn it, you just go with the flow, and you will excel your career in your sector if you are in the consultancy market. Consultancy market will need to embrace AI in order to stay relevant. Thank you very much. Any question online?
Not yet.
Okay. Any question on the floor or share comments? Yes.
Thank you, because you said so many of the things that I think about it, but just two observations. The first is that all new products go through this wonderful phase of everyone wants it. They normally crash at some point. And I think of the chat box that I have to interact with banking all the time, whose sole purpose seems to actually be to fob me off, not actually getting through to the person who knows the answer. Mm-hmm. But when you were talking about provability, as I would call it, your background in Raytheon, perhaps we don't really want to make sure without provability that we fire a rocket without knowing it's going to hit the right target. So really it's a compliment to you, but how do we get past the hyping so that this service is actually used rather than falls into disuse by doing the wrong solutions and AI generating AI, as you so correctly said?
Yeah, good question. Because I think over time, we'll be able to get the machine learning, the generative AI more accurate. Yeah, this thing. And also, you look at the history. 23 years ago, 2000, when Google launched the search engine, they use a page ranking. When its first launch is still very primitive, and just time and over the years, it gets more and more mature. So I think that's why we just use the AI blindly. So my previous employer, Raytheon, defense sector, we need to make it right, because otherwise there will be a devastating consequence. Yeah. And that's why half of my presentation is all about human, about the security, quality, what to do, train yourself, become IT literate, not just believe everything the ChatGPT is telling you. Thank you. Thank you. Good question. And how many of you are? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have a question in terms of the standards and the consistency in terms of the approach, particularly in terms of the way that it's going to be applied. So yeah, you can use ChatGPT, you can use large language models, you can use all the algorithms through machine learning and stuff like that. I think the way that the outcomes are generated, you're going to have a wide disparity in your attempt to apply them, especially to the same scenarios for different people or even different organizations. So in attempting to kind of come to some sort of consensus, what do you think is the best approach to try and get that standard standardization, so that when we do adopt even, different versions of AI, that we can come to some sort of similar outcome.
I think it's a human decision loop. Yeah, human decision loop. So, Accenture, I attended a webinar organized by Accenture. They did an experiment to use generative AI to generate user stories based on requirements. And they look at it, it's very quick. Just within a couple of minutes, all the user stories generated. So then they use a human BA to check the relevance against because the requirements were captured by a human with the subject matter experts. So the requirements in plain English, and then just the AI will just convert into as someone I want to, so that I can. And then the human looks, they just check the relevance. They're actually quite good. But as you said, the inconsistency or whether there's any misinformation or data quality, we do need the human looks to validate that. So my message to you is that don't believe everything from AI, but it just saves so much time. So in America, I don't know about this country, they actually trialing the AI doctor. So they said, when you go to your GP, you tell your GP what's wrong with you. There's only one brain in the GP's head. If you use the AI GP, it's probably 1 million heads, 1 million brains, because the AI can go to the whole large data language model to look at your symptoms, what's wrong. And so people actually in America, they actually prefer a AI GP more than a human GP, because they realize that the AI GP diagnose more accurately for the symptoms. So I don't know about this country, but that's the power of the large language model, because you have the access to the vast number of brains data, vast amount of data, and come back with the result, which is from the many gigabytes or terabytes of data. Our human brains, okay, the doctor studied 5 years in medical school, and then to train about 10 years, up to 10 years before he or she can become a GP, but it's still 15 years only. With the AI GP, you're talking about probably thousands of years worth of information to the machine learning. Yeah. Yes.
You talked about garbage in, garbage out with AI and large language models. As large language models get larger and with more information, how do you stop them from feeding into each other and causing more garbage to fester?
And that's why in OpenAI they call the ChatGPT 3.5 is a playground. So they use it as a playground that's why it's free. So we are actually helping OpenAI to make the ChatGPT smarter, because we are interacting. Every time we interact with the ChatGPT, it learns more. So the AI, the machine learning will just keep learning. Maybe at the beginning, when you started using the ChatGPT, it comes back with something really ridiculous. But now it goes better and better. If you are in the paywall, you will find the quality is a lot better. The GPT-4, which is inside the paywall, is a lot better than the GPT 3.5. So that's how they kind of improve the data quality. I mean, the thing, if it is internal, for example, in your organization, you have a GPT for business. Then your data set is your SharePoint or your Outlook or your intranet. So that your data team will need to make sure the data quality is good. No spelling mistake or or relevant. The data classification. In the data classification, you have HR record, you have procurement record, and you have work record. and you have project records. So data classification. I mean, at the moment, you have a data team to do the data feeding, but I think in the future, it can be automated by looking the trend of it.
One more question. Where do you get all the data from? You've scoured most of the internet. Now, where do you get more good information from? Because let's say Elon Musk, he's released, I think, pretty recently, a new AI that's based on Twitter. So it's got a lot of bad information on there, let's say, for example. And let's say ChatGPT has a lot of information already on it. How do you get more and more information that's already pretty good and continue to expand more?
That depends on the vendor. Like for example, Google Bard, they recently launched a Gemini. So it depends on the vendor. If you use, for example, the ChatGPT 3.5, and then you call on over the internet, so they are trying to improve the output. So they will have the ability, the crawling or ability to filter out the misinformation or garbage. Yeah. Internally, then you also train the data to be able to identify which data is relevant, which data is not relevant. This depends on the vendor and also the capability of the algorithm. Yes, online question. Yeah. Oh,
it's quite a broad question. Thank you for the very informative talk. What will empower the consultancy sector the most?
What? Sorry.
What will empower the consultancy sector the most?
Consultancy sector to empower. I don't really understand the question. Can you?
Okay, if you can rephrase your question, and we'll come back to it, please. Thank you.
Kitty, I think is what would be best for the consultancy sector? What will help the consultancy sector the most?
Well, since this is the whole idea of tonight, my presentation is to train yourself, become AI literate, learn about what's about AI, do your research, because the generative AI is so new. It's like to the consumer market, it's only 13 months. So none of us can, the university, they don't even have a module or discipline for the degree course. It's so new. So like myself, I just do my research and learn. And there's so many sources of learning, like Coursera, Udemy, and LinkedIn Learning, and YouTube, and all these sources. So we can learn, which definitely we have a lot of sources to enhance our AI, generative AI skills. It depends on how hard we want to try. So that's the thing. We have to upskill ourselves by learning what exactly generative AI does and large language model does.
Sorry, I'd just like to go back to the research you've done with the Big Four, particularly. You talked about how they were already using AI
as offering.
Yeah. And other people have mentioned the questions, the big questions that have been raised about how risky it is to use AI, which is inherently biased, and large language models, which are based on what people colloquially call the internet, are actually talking about the English language, Northern American perspective, because that's what they're actually trained on. It's not a global source of information. It's very heavily biased towards the US and Europe and Canada. How do they, the Big Four, who are obviously all offering international services, mitigate the risks that are inherent in using what are fundamentally biased models? Did they talk about how they use that, how they adapt those models in a way which actually stops them from falling foul of those biases?
Yeah. That's why Accenture invested $3 billion, because
they haven't spent it yet, right?
There's a level to show the level of commitment, yeah. Because when you will mitigate all the risks you have just mentioned, you do need people. Yeah. You do need people to, like, you can get a large language model from the vendor, like OpenAI or Microsoft or Google or Amazon, and even better, they all have large language model. But when you get this pre-trained model, you still need to configure that. you need to look at the accuracy, look at the algorithm. So that's why the investment, the big four investor is people.
Is there investment in people, or is it in NVIDIA chips? Because $3 billion is an awful lot of people.
I mean, both the compute power is necessary, but the human side of it. That's why if you happen to be a graduate in AI, you probably will get a job offer really easily, because they do need the machine learning engineer and the data scientist to modify the large language model. At the same time, also help clients to improve their data quality. So what you said is the investment is, a lot of people think, oh, I just buy a token from OpenAI, £49 a month. And then we just call API call to the GitHub. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. You buy that, and then, but does it fit your organizational data protection or data management or expectation? So they need the team to configure, to improve, modify the pre-trained model to plug into their internal data sets. That's the money goes. It's not the tool. Or maybe it's the hardware as well, the chips. But the actual knowledge to train the AI model, that's where the money is spent.
So I have a related question, maybe a little bit controversial here. You talked about prompt engineering and scaling in AI. Can you comment on the future of the purely IT or technical or engineering profession? Because it seems to me that one of the biggest skills that is going to be needed is to write proper English for the prompts.
Yeah.
So how do we upskill technical populations in that area? Creativity, creative writing, writing correctly, philosophy, logic writing, etc.
Yeah, let me say you an example about prompt engineering. I have a friend. He's a photographer. Photos. I asked at that time I was using Midjourney, and I asked the Midjourney to generate me a picture with a sky, a tree, and a river. And the Midjourney obediently generate me a picture. But what he did in the prompt, he used the photographer language. I want this pixel to be 1/2 times 3,000 something, and then I want this shade to be the color code FFGR. Yeah. And then the result is significantly visibly different. That's how the importance of prompt engineering. The more instruction you give to the AI, the better the result you will get. Unfortunately, this is not my computer, because I got the comparison of my output and his output. Like his output is like salon. It's like you go to gallery and then the gallery quality, and mine is just normal. So that's the thing. It's for example, I use the photographer example because I gone through that. If you're a software engineer, you want the generative AI to generate the code or automate the code, you will be able to have the ability to train it to generate a sufficient expectation for you. But if I am not the expert, I will just use some kind of layman language, and the results will not be as good as the person who is expert in their field and expert in their subject matter. So I hope I can answer your question. It's us to train our ability to become a good prompt engineer. It's us. It's down to us. At the moment, but I think in about 18 months, 2 years time, probably the machine doesn't need prompt engineering. Machine is smart enough to mature enough. We just use a command and then you give us a very relevant and appropriate answer.
Apologise for asking another question,
No problem at
very
all.
much. If we go back, personnel became HR, technical became the CTO. Everything within an organisation adopts or adapts to the need for somebody to bring together things. Everything you're describing, human interaction, technology, all the other things, legal, for consultants to effectively work with organisations, they need an internal champion. I'm interested to, do you know what that internal champion in companies is likely to look like? Because without them, I think consultants are going to be running around all the departments trying to find somebody that understands and owns AI.
I mean, if you are a business owner, okay, and a consultancy offer you AI capability you have a team of people in a warehouse or in the call center, whatever, yeah, and you kind of like give the person a cold shoulder, yeah. In about 12 months, 18 months time, you find your competitors charging ahead of you.
Yeah.
So I think there's a compelling reason in organization. They need to be modernized. They need to make use of the technology in order to stay competitive. So they will have the organic homegrown champion to champion that, and they already have a champion before you even arrive as a consultant. Yeah, that's my research. I've got one online questions. I need to come because you read softly.
Sorry. How do we decide when the facts or solutions offered by the AI are good enough? If you ask a human a question and give them a problem to solve, they don't always get it right. Should the bar for AI be higher, or is human quality good enough?
I think, yeah, the final the final verdict and decision.
Katie, sorry, can't hear.
Okay, I have to come here. Okay, the question is, which one is better, the AI decision or human decision? And up to now, still human. I probably mentioned human decision loop about half a dozen times because it's so important. Human decision, use the AI as a tool. It's like you use the calculator as a tool to help you do calculation. Use the AI as a tool, but at the end of the day, you as a human, you make the decision loop to how to use that, put in your report, recommend to your clients, and develop a strategic roadmap. It's up to us. The AI is just a tool to give us information, give us really quick data content for us, and generate some nice picture very quickly in a matter of seconds. So, there's a question. Yeah, there's a question.
Hi there. Good evening. I'm not really computer literate. The last programming I did was 10 years ago in college with some VBA in Java and C. I work in construction industry in large scale infrastructure projects. And my question to you is about the use of AI in this context. And generally, clients, when they give a brief to consultants, there's something called a designer's paradox.
Yes.
It's that the clients themselves are not really clear on their brief. And it's when consultants come in and they ask them questions, and then this iterative process in which things are generated and a project is realized. So can AI be leveraged in this case as acting like a consultant, where they can have that feedback of questions and an iteration to help the clients to improve their briefs and generate things?
Possibly, yes. Possibly, I won't be surprised if it's not happening. I think because the large language model, the level of comprehension, the level of understanding is quite powerful. So the way you do it is it depends on how to interact with the system. So for example, you have this decision paradox, yeah.
Designer's
paradox, yeah. You use the AI to come up with data-driven decision making. AI is here to provide you with the data driven, and then it's very efficient. And then you use the data driven decision making to as a tool, as a content to do your design paradox. So don't rely 100% of the machine automation to make the decision for you. Use the AI to find evidence. For example, I want to convince Durham, there's a restaurant in Barnet, it's really good. But then I need to convince you, so I show you the TripAdvisor. I show you the top table. So you can see the data, 5 star, 5 star, 5 star. So I managed to convince you that this restaurant is really good. So in your situation, you use the AI to give you the data driven, and then you have the human decision loop finally. It will save you a lot of time to run around to try to find information, to make use of AI to save your time and to become more efficient. Remember, data driven as evidence.
Just a follow-up question of my start, since I'm illiterate on this, but just use AI models to write construction method statements and then convert them into poetry. That's a fun way to do it. But just to understand this, where can I upskill myself in such things like a data-driven evidence approach to these models?
I mean, the actual AI is not new. AI has been around since 1950s. It's just a generative AI is new because the difference between AI and generative AI is AI traditionally is doing things behind the back. Because when you do a Google search or anything, they collect data, they know your shopping habit. It's already AI. The generative AI came out to the consumer market in November 2022 because it generates content like textual content, images, or music. Yeah. So the actual AI is not new. So you still can learn the AI principle in degree courses or traditional training courses. And then the generative AI and large language model, at the moment, the universities, they are too slow. They have not offered this degree. So what I've done is that because I have a computer science background and technology background, so I'm pretty good. Just talk to people, literature review, go to different courses like Coursera, LinkedIn Learning. So I self-learn my prompt engineering skill. And so that's why I would like to share my journey with you. And I hope you will do the same. Yeah. Yes.
I have a question. Like for a model to learn, it relies on the past data that you provide. And are there any tools available to test the accuracy of the data?
Are there any tools to
Yes, how accurate the data is?
to calculate? Well, the thing is, organization, they should have a data management team, and they have a data intelligence team, the data analyst. So that's their job. Because I'm a business analyst by profession. I did a bit of data analysis as part of my job, but data analytics is a separate independent discipline. So that's their job to filter out the good data and the bad data. So I am sorry, I'm not the expert to answer your question, but that's the way it is. Yeah. Yeah, no problem. Hey.
Yeah, my colleagues and myself, for that matter, believe that using generative AI makes you a much clearer thinker, much better project manager, much better designer, and much better consultant. I'll give you a simple example. When you use, say, creating a medical application, you need to understand the architecture and everything. If you just ask generative AI for a solution, it won't give you that solution. You need to understand the architecture, the API calls, the libraries, and everything else. Do you agree with that? It makes you a clearer thinker.
I mean, the thing is that from our personal experience, I found that the generative AI and the large language model has really helped me to become more knowledgeable. And also, I can't say no more. Prompt engineering, just so important. It sounds very simple. Oh, you just craft your questions to the generative AI and then they will give you a good answer. It's not that simple. The prompt engineering is an art. It's how you like train. It's like how you talk to a child and how you see the child growing up. So this is a really good technique. I written a thought leadership articles. I put on my LinkedIn page. It's called prompt engineering basic technique. It's called like a train of thought. The train of thought is you one step at a time, and then you can see the AI, the generative AI generate better and better content. So totally agree with you. You should be my co-presenter because we are sharing the same page that we need to be knowledgeable and skillful in order to generate a better prompt, better output from the AI. Absolutely, 100%. Yes.
Last question, please.
Last question. Yeah, we're going to have a pizza.
So, can you talk a bit about your data governance of OpenAI? So, I know it's an open source to everyone to interact with it, but for instance, the company I work for, we've got like specific access. So, most of the questions that I ask is through my company's website to ChatGPT. The answers would be totally different than that one, and mostly it would be cropped out, and because of the data governance. So, how about the danger of people basically using OpenAI to build technologies? Will there be a risk in the future where they will be sued?
Yeah, so you remember earlier, I mentioned about the two types of GPT, the playground version and then the business version. So the business version, your data is supposed to be safe because all the content and all the conversations encrypted. And you use a cloud service in your private cloud, yeah? For the open one, it is like a Wild West. People, if they use it there's no governance because OpenAI they make it very clear that ChatGPT 3.5 is a beta. You just say a trial for members of the public. And they even the large language model have a deadline. I mean, they put down April 2023 now. Before that is September 2021. So when you ask them, was the Queen still alive? And the Queen still alive, but the Queen passed away in September 2022 because the data set was September 2021. So there's no way we can influence people how they use their content from the playground version. So I don't have an answer. It's very difficult to govern. I mean, how's your organization policy? You use the GPT for business, yeah. So that one you should be. It's like SharePoint. You have SharePoint, yeah, in your organization. And Microsoft, they are not supposed to know your SharePoint content because they sell you the SharePoint application, and all the content will just encrypt it and go to your data center or your private cloud. It's the same as GPT for business. So this is the final question. So I think you're all quite hungry now. So thank you very much for your talk and have a Merry Christmas. Yes, we got.
Thank you very much, Kitty. Don't leave.
Please don't leave.
I'll chat GPT.
Have a happy Christmas. Yes. Okay. I just want to close off on that by saying that I thought that was truly wonderful. But as with many of our sessions, that was the start. Now it's over to you. And you didn't get that impression. We've been talking about this field for many years. For example, about 5 years ago, we ran a session with a lady called Sarah Burnett on something called machine learning, which is how we used to think of AI in those days. Then we went to, just Google it, which might be how we got to seeing more in terms of AI. Then, of course, choose your favorite. If you do a Google search, but you say, just give me an answer, it will. And now we've got to this. So does that mean it's all sorted? Well, Kitty's given you lots of information on that. But the main thing is, no, now it's up to you. And we are running a number of initiatives in our groups, as you know. This one, the answer to this is decide if this is something you want to dabble in, playground mode, in which case find the way to do it and do it, or ask Kitty some more about how to do it and so on. But if you want to get into this for real, then now is the time to really get serious about it. If you want to do it as an enterprise architect, the architecture of large language models, how to set them up and offer yourself to organizations in that context, that's great. If you want to become an expert in prompt engineering, how do you phrase those questions and put it to the relevant mechanism? That's another possibility. You will also need to decide whether you want to get into, which one you want to get into, whether you want to get into Microsoft type CoPilot or OpenAI mode or which ones, because they are different and they're diversifying. But I would suggest to you that a huge skill to have is to know how to ask questions. And this I'll call testing mode. How do you know this isn't telling lies? Seems to keep relying on something called darknet.ai. What is darknet.ai? Seems to keep insisting that you buy body parts and guns and things like this. Why is that? You need to ask questions. And that too is a skill, a human skill, that is going to be hugely important in this world. You can ask questions of the answers that you get from these mechanisms, but which are the questions that you need to ask? Maybe when you think of the questions to put into prompt engineering and so on, you need to think of some case studies, some models, and think of some obviously false answers, think of some right answers, and so on. See which it gives you. And that is a skill that is an analytical skill that is going to become very important now, I would suggest. Okay, but you know that we've come a long way with AI. If you are seriously interested, please see Kitty afterwards. Please also tell me if you can help us put together future events to show AI in practice. And by this, I mean specific use of CoPilot, specific use of ChatGPT-4 or whatever. Can you help us do that? Do you know the people to go to? I think Kitty probably does because she went to that EY seminar with that Microsoft expert. But do you know people? If so, please come and see me because we're actively working on this. We're actively working on this because we have an AI initiative with our colleague Jude, who is at Salesforce, incidentally, which is very much
he's very AI now.
Yeah. But Jude and I are trying to put this stream of things together so that we can offer you and other members much more value in the future. And in terms of that, British Computer Society, BCS, of course, is very much into ethics. And that is something that very much relates to this area. So we're working with BCS on that and putting together certifications, hopefully, on ethics and how to do it. And in answer to my own question from the start of this, have you got the latest copy of BCS IT Now magazine? And what is the main topic? There's the answer. And nestling in there on pages 20 and 21 is an article by Kitty, which I really recommend that you read, and you will no doubt benefit from. There are loads of interesting articles in here. But Kitty, what is yours called?
Yeah, the page 20.
Yes, I know. But what is yours called?
What? Well, I mean, my last word to you guys before you go for the pizza is AI is not a passion. AI is not an option. AI is inevitable.
Okay. Well, here's the article by Kitty, which, as she said, is called "Women in AI: Navigating ED and I: Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion." Those are subjects that we're also very much into. We have inclusion initiative as well, a big one. The name of it is Womenspiration. And on the slides behind us here, you see some of the many events we've run on Womenspiration as part of our initiative for inclusion. So do come and join us. Do come and see me in terms of your AI future events and so on. But I also have somebody waving at me at the back. Hi, Anna. You want to come forward or stay there? My colleague, Anna. Anna, why are you,
Thank you very much,
why are you
everybody,
looking
for
at that
attending.
barcode?
We gone online. We wanna lose the paper. So if you please, just scan the QR code and submit a feedback. It takes 6 seconds. That's what Microsoft says. So and thank you for attending.
Enjoy your pizza.